Most people are told to study hard to find a good company to work for. That is financial illiteracy. When they tell you, study hard, get a good degree, then write a nice CV to find a place to work for. I know that's what you and I were told, but guess what? It's financial illiteracy. You cannot grow wealth that way. Financial literacy is to study hard, to find a good company you can buy the company or start your own. So one tells you to write CVs to work for them. The second step is for you to study hard to start your own. And not only start your own, create the system that works and know how the money can multiply. Number two, the key ingredients of financial literacy is financial competence. And that's why you've been on the Wealth Masterclass. So financial education requires competence. It isn't, remember again, I've told you, it's not enough for you to say you have a degree. University education doesn't cover everything. And one of the students on the Wealth Masterclass here is a medical doctor who is also running her own finance business to teach doctors investment. And she is in shock to find out while these guys are medical doctors who work and handle people's lives, they don't know much when it comes to handling their money. That's why you find, and the truth is this, there are three kinds of people: the poor, the rich, and the middle class. Or rather, the poor, the wealthy, and the middle class. Poor people believe they have nothing. The wealthy are creating wealth, but middle class people live in deception. They live in deception because they have a nice house, a nice car, and a nice source of income by way of their education. And so, maybe shall we add number 4? They also have pension. So they tell themselves things are good, but they don't realize that outside of pension, they have nothing, and the house they live in. And we have found in recent times that after you made your contribution to the pension, sometimes it may not carry the weight it should carry. One school struggles to save a few pounds. Another simply works hard to create investments. So financial illiteracy makes you struggle to save a few pounds through pension and then a mortgage on one house in which you live. While and then another one simply works hard to use the same money to create streams of incomes. So I'm sure you are beginning to get the picture between being financially literate and being financially illiterate. Let's paint it better, more for you. Illiteracy teaches you to write good resumes, to find a good job. Literacy teaches you to write strong business proposals that will create jobs for others. In other words, you started a business and you are now the one hiring others. But illiteracy, honestly, is for you to be very good at writing resumes, looking for jobs. And the worst is even sometimes when I go to third world nations, you will find people who have studied, they write good resumes, they stay in the country of their birth while waiting for a foreign company to come to their country to dig up resources from their country, and from the resources taken to pay them some and then carry the rest away. And when you ask them, where do you work? They say, I work for a multinational company. Oh, really? The multinational company, did it bring money from where it was coming? No. Where is he getting his resources from? Here. And then from the resource they got, they gave you some little pinch and took the rest away. That is financial illiteracy. Financial literacy understands that poor and broke are not the same thing. Broke is temporary. Poor is forever. In other words, when you are financially literate, you understand that, look, even if I don't have money in my pocket now, I can create what I need. Money is a form of power. And it strengthens you. What is more powerful is financial education, even if you don't have the cash. Money is a form of power, but it is not yet the greatest power. The greatest power is to have financial education. When you have it, you have victory because you know that, look, do you know that when you are financially literate, you can practically be uprooted from one nation, planted in another. You didn't come with any cash, but it wouldn't take you long to be able to create wealth. The reason is the principles of wealth creation work anywhere. If you don't have financial literacy, if you transfer yourself to another nation, you will perchance get a job that keeps you alive, and that is all you will get. That is all you will get. So financial education is the best you can have. It makes you so that even when it goes, you know that it will come back as you take the right step. When a person is financially literate, if they don't have cash, they don't kill themselves. They know what to do to attract the cash back. If you are financially illiterate, even if they give you the world, you blow it. This week, the story of one man here in the United Kingdom trended on social media. He passed on. But you see, before he passed on, he had won 161 million, either euro or pounds, at the lottery. 161 million is a lot of dosh. But guess what this man did? Within 3 hours of winning the 161 million pounds, he had bought a house. It looks like a good investment, but it's not, because it wasn't a house which he can testify that the equity rose. He bought a 10 million pound house. No, he bought a multi-million pound house within 3 hours of winning the lottery. He went straight to view the house, and he and his wife made a decision to buy it within 10 minutes. Then he lived on 100,000 pounds a week. Holy smoke. He lived on 100,000 pounds a week. When he died, there was only 50,000 pounds in his account. 50,000 pounds out of 161 million pounds. When people are not financially literate and sudden money comes into their hand, they keep taking. They do not realize that if you don't replenish, if you don't invest, it does not multiply, it depletes. By the time he died, there was only a savings in some small tax-free savings account where they met 50,000 pounds. Positive thinking alone will not bring financial increase. Number 10. Financial literacy is necessary so that you do not spend all your life working hard for money. You've got to think positively, but you've got to take steps to know what financial literacy is, and that's what we've been teaching here on Wealth Masterclass. But it is very important for you to continue to tell yourself, every point I hear on this platform that will increase my wealth base, I will apply it. Financial intelligence says you can get more. Financial intelligence says you can get more, but guess what? Financially illiterate people only hear that there is no money in the country. There is lack, and that's not true. There has never been a generation that have seen wealth in the land in any nation like today. None. This is the generation that have actually tapped into unseen wealth more than any generation. Everything you look around today that have become a money spinner did not exist before 40 years ago. The cell phone did not exist as it is today. Before 40 years ago, the only people who had a cell phone that is mobile, and it was like a box. Before 40 years ago, were only people in the intelligence offices, and also maybe people who will buy it 5,000 pounds or more. Then about 34, 35 years ago, the size of the home phone appeared that was wireless, but had a limited range because it worked by a domestic satellite. Today, the cell phone has taken over the whole world. 40 years ago, we didn't have the internet on this level. It was only in embassies. Nobody talked about internet until probably 37 years ago, 35 years ago, on the scale that it began to grow. Nobody spoke about it the way we do. Today, it has taken over the world. Most of the things that are now spinning money in the trillions did not exist. There were no electric cars. The idea have always been tinkered with, but they could not create it. Suddenly, there is a change to our world. A change to our world. So financial intelligence says you should get angry, push back, not at your job or boss, but at yourself. Not at your spouse, because some people, when their money is low, they begin to fight the wrong people. They fight their boss and say, they're not giving me salary increase. Even if they give you double salary increase, guess what will happen? You will double your expenses. You will double your expenses. You say, hey, now I can afford. So financial intelligence is not about getting angry with your job, with your boss or your spouse. Financial intelligence says you should therefore rather go for broke. Give it everything it takes. Fight until you win. Give it all it takes. Fight until you win. When you do that, that is financial intelligence.